All right, welcome. Day 3 or tip 3 for the hard truths about RV living.
You're who?
I'm Robyn.
I'm Victor.
And 6 years ago, we moved our family of 5 kids into a 30-foot, 28-foot, I would say 30-foot,
28, man. It's 28. We got to get the credit for that. It's 2 less
Class
feet.
C, and traveled the world. We've flown all over 26 different countries. Drove the Class C up to Alaska a couple years ago. Now we're living full time in this 5th wheel behind us. Today we are going to talk about the truth, the hard truth of RV living.
But before that, make sure you like and subscribe. It really helps us, sends it the algorithm to other people so that we can continue to create this. We want to grow this population and really help as many families that are considering this, and actually people that might not even consider.
And besides, even if you don't consider it, these are some really good just life lessons. In general, luxury tax is worth it. Right behind me, we've got our luxury tax. See that nice, beautiful tube right there?
Yeah.
Let me just tell you, every time, yes, I know we need to fix it. I get it. I'm like horrible at these things. And then Victor's horrible about like just leaving with the truck and saying, I'm just going to go take care of it because you're not taking care of it. Our share spills every single time. Every time. Like, it's disgusting. It's like you dump it all the way out.
Wait. So one of the big things, we call it a luxury tax. One of the things you pay that's amazing. We're out here, the stars are out. It's absolutely gorgeous. You see all the Instagram pictures like, yes, I'm so free. It looks amazing. But every single one of those people in a van or in an RV has got to dump their gray and black water. And some of that, you get really good at understanding your machine and like making sure that it's not on. You're like, oh gosh, hold your breath. And that's part of
really
and that's part of living this lifestyle. We actually have a little bit of an issue with the seal on it. So we're working on
I think it's like a $20 piece. And the hard thing with RV living is it sometimes is hard to get your mail. So we're going back to our rental in Polson that we rented.
That's essentially our storage.
Yeah, and mailing the piece that we need. But for right now, we've been having to move sites every 1 to 3 days. And literally every time we empty it completely and you just move sites like 100 feet and you go to reconnect it and open it and it spills. So don't worry, we catch it in a bucket. But do you remember, if you're a parent, do you ever have like blowouts? I remember when we were like, this is payback now. When the kids would have blowouts, yeah, because you have to deal with that.
Come on.
And we'd have blowouts, and I would be the one who's always like, oh, I'd like pick up the baby, like wash it off with your hand in the shower. Gross. And they got a little bit older. They weren't like so much of a baby anymore, and it was like messier and messier. It's kind of like that, except even more smelly.
Stinky.
It's horrible. Anyways, but why is it worth it? So why, if this is so gross, if it's disgusting, and like, oh, I'm not going to live in an RV. I have to smell that and deal with that. No way, Robyn. Well, you guys know why I think it's worth it, but why is it worth it to Victor?
Well, I think you have to, again, there's a carrot and a stick thing. And to me, I'm like, well, it's a byproduct. I'm going to try to be my best to be prepared. But the first thing for me, and my personality, if you've listened to any of these videos, you know that I'm kind of a defender giver by my Enneagram and Myers-Briggs. And so to me, to give my family, especially my kids, a completely outside the box life that gives them the possibility of success, I'll wade in that for them. So that's one. Okay, so got an issue, get a tissue. That's the big one. I'm trying. And 2, to see my wife thriving and propel her to her greatest. That's another one. What other one did we talk about? I think those 2 are huge for me.
Well, the third was that you have a little bit of time for your own self-growth.
Oh, yeah.
Even though he doesn't like to take credit for that, he's like, no, it's all about my kids and you.
It is. Well, but look. At first, I will tell you that self-growth must be nice. That's a white privilege thing. Whatever. You
just said that's a white privilege thing.
You know, it's a joke. It's a joke. Ultimately, it comes down to, it's one of those things that when you work hard and you inputting yourself in the roles we have in society. As a guy, sometimes we don't have time to reflect on that. We have to provide. And so when you go into this, all of a sudden you're like, wait, who am I? What do I really like?
He's right in that it's not like I was necessarily, a lot of it's my Enneagram that I'm just like my way or I'm going to figure it out. I make lemonade out of everything. give me oranges, I'll make lemonade. No. But he did not grow up with that mentality of you can be and do anything you want. So naturally, to be in this situation, if you grew up like money was scarce, or you know you're just used to we talk rich dad, poor dad.
Poor dad mentality, where you're just like you're working
you just
in the
have
system,
to input
get
yourself.
a good job so you can get a retirement and it's safe. I'm like, ooh, well,
It's really hard
where's the
to-
fun and joy and passion
Yeah.
in that? And when I met Robyn, even at a very young age, at 17, she knew I was a business major at that moment at San Diego State, but I was already working. I lived in the gym. I trained my friends. I was just gobbling up as much knowledge of that. She's like, hey, like, you should be a kines major, a health, fitness, and nutrition major, and the hell with, like, let's just live a passionate life. And so even back then I was like, oh man, that's exciting. And in the end,
And now he needs to go back and work on
yeah,
the
now
business
I gotta
major.
work marketing. Marketing is always the marketing, you know?
So yes, you're time rich. It's so great. Yes, you are providing, we just posted a video about like what the truth is for kids. Yes, it's hard that they don't have as many friends, but it's also a gift that they don't have as many friends. Our kids
And
have
influences.
been able to really hone in on who they are as individuals, and
we build them up so that they can stay at that level of confidence instead of sort of being beaten down to like what's acceptable.
I mean, our
That's
kids
rough.
haven't ever had to wear this, so not that it's bad if you have to, but just that, like, what
That
the
affects-
impact in society right now of kids normally don't feel very worthy or feel like they have to compete with their peers, but all of a sudden you're making them hide parts of themselves literally with a piece of cloth. You're going to have these issues of kids really uncertain of who they are, why they're in this world, what they're contributing, and that's going to be something all of
That
us as a
trickles down.
society, we're going to have to help our kids with that over the years. My kids don't have that. They've lived this lifestyle, which means they get to own their space, their individuality.
And as
That
JP
doesn't-
Sears says it, like, own your weirdness.
Yeah.
And I remember when he came out with that, JP, thank you so much, because your humor and even that one statement, I try to remember some of that, like, just own it, just own your weirdness, just own your weirdness. It's incredibly hard, but part of creating these videos is to show that a little bit.
Yeah,
Okay?
absolutely.
We're always figuring it. We are always trying to figure this out, and we're always pivoting and adjusting.
So the luxury tax
is worth it.
Yes,
is worth
you
it.
You really get to live a more fulfilling life. It doesn't have to look exactly like ours, but sometimes you have to do the hard things in life. Sometimes you have to dump the shitter and like take in the smells so that you can.
Yes, I'm Cousin Eddie.
We should get you a bathroom.
Yeah.
We should. That would be awesome.
Yeah, I've never
Okay.
seen that.
And some slippers. And then we can light a chair on fire
Yeah.
and blow it up.
Yeah.
That would be a good episode. All right, we'll see you tomorrow.